Hello and welcome back to Hanging with the Hills. I'm Chanel. Thank you so much for stopping by. So if you're looking for Hubs, well, he's not here right now, but you'll see him soon. Alright, so in this video I want to talk to you guys about meal planning or meal prep or all the above that I do in order to save money. So this is just, planning basics, meal planning basics. And if you see me looking down, I'm just going to let you know that I wrote a whole list of stuff that I want to share with you guys. So that is why I'll be looking down, just to let you know, right there. Okay? So we're going to jump right into this. Number one, the first thing you should do if you're doing this for your family, or even if it's for yourself, you might not need to have a meeting for yourself, but you might need one, is to have a meeting. To have a meeting with every member in your family. Why? To let them know what you're thinking about doing and how it will save you money and get their input on there. Input on it, I mean. to let them know how it can benefit you guys in the long run. When you start this whole food preparation and planning and everything, you want to make sure that you have a list of recipes somewhere that you and your family can go to and choose. Like, have each family member choose like 2 meals that they enjoy and love for like dinner, breakfast, lunch, okay? Lunch is kind of easy for us over here because the little people like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Start off with at least, between 10 and 12 different meals. I say 10 to 12 because you guys probably might want to have go out to eat once or twice a week. We're gonna try it with them once, okay? That, and you have to think of, okay, that maybe you'll most likely have leftovers. And leftovers is a meal as well. Why? Because you don't want to throw that away. That's money you're still throwing away. Now, if you're the type of person that doesn't eat leftovers, we're going to need to chat some more about that. Okay? But over here in my household, we eat leftovers. We love them. So, but start off with at least 10 to 12 meals. And get everyone's input. Like, have them pick out their favorite dinner entrees, like enchiladas. We love enchiladas over here. Tacos, pastas. Over here, everyone likes pasta over here. Might not be the healthiest for some people, but pasta is good. And it fills up boys a lot. Tip number 3. Once you figured out what you want to make and you've got your 10 to 12 recipes, or if you're doing it or if you want to do more recipes, go right ahead. You're going to write out your recipe, how the recipe is made, and what is everything that consists of it. So you're going to have your recipe name, have how to make your recipe, and have all the ingredients towards the bottom of the page of everything that needs to be in that recipe to get that recipe executed. Okay? So like chicken, pasta, bell peppers, onions, all that stuff, whatever needs to be in that recipe, write it all down so you can make sure that when you go grab that recipe out of your recipe book, or off your iPad or your phone or wherever you keep it, you know exactly what's supposed to be in there, and you can make sure you have all those items. And then once you figured out everything that's in every single recipe, you need to go. This is probably like the most math you're gonna do, maybe. You're gonna go and figure out how much of each of your recipes, of each item do you need. You're gonna start like, okay, well, this recipe enchiladas calls for this amount of chicken, and if I decide to make chicken tacos or chicken burritos, I need this amount of chicken as well. You're gonna add both of those amounts together and start writing your grocery list. That's tip number 4. Okay, number 4, your grocery list. So as you're writing down your grocery list and you start combining, well, okay, this recipe needs this amount of chicken and this recipe needs this amount of chicken, you're going to add both of those amounts together, write it on your grocery list, put chicken, and write how much you need. Okay? The same thing for your veggies, your onions, you know. And if you just like eyeball like vegetables and stuff to throw in the recipes, well, you need to like kind of eyeball it and figure out how much you need and write that on your grocery list. So that way when you go grocery shopping, you have one list that tells you how much of every single item you need to complete all of your recipes you have set. You have set aside and you have planned to cook for that week or 2 weeks or for a few days, whatever you're planning, you know, get that out the way, okay? Because without a grocery list and the right amount of stuff, you go in the grocery store, you be buying a whole lot of stuff, you find out later that you really don't need, and then you find out you forgot some stuff, then you gotta go back to the store. That's a lot of gas, okay? You wasting a lot of gas. Now, as you're writing your grocery list, you need to figure out if you're grocery shopping once a week, once every 2 weeks, once a month. It's totally up to you. But you also need to make sure that you gauge your groceries along with your paycheck. I feel like I'm forgetting to tell you something. Well, if I remember it, I'll tell you. Alright, now we're on to step numero cinco. Okay, number 5. We're on number 5. Say you already went grocery shopping and you're back with your luggage of groceries and everything like that. Which I forgot to I remember what I was going to tell you about in step 4. Okay, step 4. Once you're writing out your grocery list, you figure out everything you need. Before you step your butt out that front door to go to the grocery store, make sure you shop your cabinets and your refrigerator and your freezer. Because you will be surprised that the majority of the stuff that's on your list, if you don't like go grocery shopping like I do, where you don't I grocery shop when there's like basically nothing left in my freezer. That's what I do. But anyways, so before you walk out that door and grab your keys and your purse and your wallet or whatever you grabbing to get to the store, okay, money and all the other stuff, check your cabinets, check your refrigerator, check your freezer to see if you have anything that's on your grocery list in there. Because if you do, that will save you money because you don't have to go back and repurchase those same items. Because then you're just going to come back and be like, oh, I already had this already. Why did I buy some more? This is one way to cut your budget, by shopping your cabinets and your refrigerator and your freezer first before you walk out the door to go grocery shopping. Alright, now back to step number 5. Okay. So you're back from grocery shopping, you got your food, you got your groceries, you got your bags, and you're about to start unloading the stuff and putting everything away. Right? Technically you're right, but you're wrong at the same time. When it comes down to meal prepping, I'm telling you what you should do the way how I do it, okay? You don't have to, you can do it totally the way you want to. So when you come back from shopping, you want to start portioning out your meats and your protein, if you don't do meat all the time, your veggies, your rice, your pre-portion everything. Like if you're doing freezer meals, get your freezer bags ready, pull them out before you start putting anything in the freezer, portion out your meats. Like I portion out my meat for chicken tacos and enchiladas and taquitos and all the other stuff. I portion out everything. And if you don't portion out everything, and because a lot of times I don't, I just, unless it's for a certain recipe, I'll portion it out for freezer meals. I will take the meat, especially chicken, right out of the package as soon as they come from the store, and I put it straight into my pressure cooker. And then after it cooks in my pressure cooker, that's when I start to portion out my meat for my different recipes. That's just what I do. Everyone's different. But you want to portion out everything. You want to pre-chop everything so you don't have to do it later. Make your shopping day your prep day. Go early in the morning, come back and stand there, and prep out everything. So by the afternoon, you don't have nothing to do. It's smooth sailing from there, okay? So you want to pre-portion everything, have everything in the containers or baggies, and all you do is pull and throw everything together. Now, unless you're the type of person that loves to be in the kitchen, then you don't have to pre-cut everything, but I would suggest you pre-wash everything and have it at least set aside for yourself, okay? I don't got time for that. No. So I just make sure I pre-chopped everything, and if I don't chop anything or if I don't have time to chop anything, I usually have hubby. Hubby will usually sit there and will chop everything. It takes him forever because he's usually watching an anime or something. He's watching something. It takes him forever, but he eventually gets it done. So just, like I said, hubby cuts it. Have someone designated to chop up all your stuff when you come in the door. Alright, tip number 6. Just playing. There's no 6. I just had 5. That's it. Just 5 meal planning tips. That's it. So that's it. Those are my 5 tips to meal planning. Those are my 5 tips to the basics of meal planning. Now make sure when you're meal planning and you make sure you take into consideration any activities that you might have throughout the week, and figure out when you should cook, when you should not cook. I really highly suggest to at least have one day dedicated to leftovers. Whatever day throughout the week it is, make that day dedicated to leftovers, where if whatever's leftovers that are in the refrigerator, you guys eat those leftovers on that day. Because that's another meal. That's a meal that you're saving money, that you're not spending extra money towards, and you're not throwing money away. I thank you so much for coming and sitting down and hanging out with me and listening to my 5 basic tips of meal planning. To me, it's very easy, but at first it wasn't, because you have to figure out those meals, and then introducing new meals into the mix. I do probably once every 2 weeks. I introduce a new meal into the mix. But for the main part, because we are paying debt off, I do a lot of the same meals, but when I meal prep, I either double or triple the recipe, so I have enough in my deep freezer, so I can just pull and go and dump it into my crock pot, and it just saves me so much time. So once again, thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you're not subscribed to Hanging with the Hills, please go ahead and make sure you hit that red button down below, and make sure your bell is turned on so you can always get notified every time we have a new video. And thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.